I'm Michelle. I'm 16 years old and I live in North Finchley. I don't know my mum because she died when I was a year old, but my dad, he raised me up and loved him. I was 13 years old when my dad had the stroke. I heard someone coughing and throwing up, so I ran to my dad's room and I saw him lying on the floor, just throwing up with a cut on his head, and I started crying and I said, "Dad, should I ring the ambulance? What do I do?" And he said, "No, everything's going to be all right. Just stay with me here." His last words were, "I love you." And then he fell into unconsciousness. The doctor came in and she said it was bad news. She said the bleeding was too bad. I was listening to his heart and it suddenly stopped.
Michelle's life with her dad, as much as she loved him, was a difficult life. It wasn't a child's life. She was his carer, and I think she was his carer for a very long time. She was responsible for cleaning, she was responsible for cooking, shopping, you know, the responsibilities of an adult.
Whilst Michelle's father was officially looking after her, it really transpires later that he perhaps wasn't looking after her in the way that we would have liked, because he just wasn't able to. And so when he died, actually there were so many emotions and so many feelings of either guilt or responsibility. They were all so mixed up together. It made what was a difficult situation even more tragic, I think.
You know, this 13-year-old on her own, and yeah, I'm sorry, I just get a bit overwhelmed just thinking about it as well. So God knows what it would have been like for her.
Norwood first became involved with Michelle when Mr. Lewis, the headmaster of the school that Michelle was at, contacted us to say that he'd had word from the hospital that Michelle's father was very critically ill and that she was alone there.
We knew that Michelle didn't have a mother and didn't have any other family. And obviously that rang a lot of alarm bells.
No one was looking after me. I was in the hospital and they said I needed to phone someone.
Everything happened so fast. She, a day later after Herzl passed away, was whisked away with the body to be buried in Israel. She wanted to come back. This was home for her. I had this strange experience some days after she was out in Israel. I was literally walking to the station to get my tube to work, and I had this bizarre experience. I literally felt a heat, a warmth come over me from somewhere, and I just got this sense that, well, why don't I have her? So that was the beginning of a huge journey, really.
Elisa, her cousin, almost came out of the woodwork as a miracle, if you like, to look after Michelle and to take her in.
Elisa really struggled at the beginning with complications about how to access money, how to care for Michelle, legal rights with who was a guardian, how to get guardianship. And that was all dealt with and supported by Norwood.
Norwood got involved pretty quickly because I was doing battle with social services, who didn't really want to have any financial responsibility for Michelle. When she came back from Israel, she had nowhere to go. And what I was told was if actually I'd left her at the airport, then they would have actually picked up the pieces. So what I was basically told was abandon the child, walk away, leave her to the authorities to pick up, and we'll do the rest. And that's actually how she was treated. She wasn't really treated like a little girl in trouble who'd been orphaned. She had a lot to deal with. I didn't know what was going to happen. Michelle didn't know what was going to happen. I really needed someone an organisation that was knowledgeable, that had the information that I needed and the support that I needed, and Norwood were the ones, and they picked up the pieces.
The work was very much split. My colleague got grants for clothing for Michelle, as she had come with nothing. She got money to be able to transport Michelle to school. Accessed money for transport, for buses, for passports, for all those things that wouldn't have been possible. And mainly she supported a real battle with the local authorities for Elisa to actually be able to financially support herself and to keep Michelle and give Michelle the stability and love and the family that she needed.
Elisa was in a relationship when I came, but because Elisa was giving me attention and not her boyfriend, he couldn't cope with it, so he left.
I was actually abandoned by everyone. So it's really hard.
I love Elisa. I relate to her as a mum, a sister and a best friend.
Without Norwood and the Hackney team, she'd probably be in a children's home or in foster care.
Without Norwood's support financially, Elisa wouldn't have managed by herself to look after me.
Quite quickly, Michelle was given some counselling assistance. She had someone to talk to at the school regularly, which was what she really needed. She was not in a good place, as you can well imagine, but she was scared as well.
I first got introduced to Michelle about 2.5 years ago. She comes once a week to see me. She had to learn how to trust again. She'd lost faith in human beings. Her mum left her, her dad left her. How do you trust that someone else will be there for you? She lost friends, peers that couldn't relate, couldn't understand, didn't know how to be with her. So she's had to learn to trust others and trust herself. Everything, every single part of her was affected and needed to be rebuilt and relearnt and re-strengthened.
She's there for me when I'm sad. When I go into the counselling session, I can do whatever I want.
Michelle and I made a Chinese lantern as a memorial to her father. It's a significant point in her life, and it kind of symbolises her readiness to move on in her life and forward with it.
Norwood have made it possible for me to live with Elisa and to have a counsellor. I think I'd be very different today if I didn't have those sessions. I don't know if I would have managed.
Michelle's at a real turning point in her life. She's got prom to look forward to really soon. She talks about her dress and her hair and the excitement of going to prom with her peers. She's at a time of excitement and of feeling fear for the future of where she's going to go, what she's going to do, starting a whole new life, entering into adulthood.
Yeah, I'm very different now to how I was when I was with my dad. I think I'm much more confident. I want to be in performing arts industry. I love singing.
It's really unfair that people have this. They treat them really badly and wish they weren't there.
about to go on tour with a whole bunch of new people to Israel just next week, and coming back and starting this performance arts course, which I think will just be the making of her. I would really encourage anybody who felt able to support Norwood to actually give, because families like mine and Michelle's, we're out there and we really need the help.
Michelle's story is one of hundreds that Norwood provide a service for every day of the week. When people think of Norwood, they think of adults with learning disabilities. Norwood provides a safety net, a care service, a support service, a therapeutic service, a counselling service, a special educational needs service, an adoption service, a support service to local authorities working with vulnerable children. We provide an entire range of services. We need to be able to develop this work, we need to continue it, maintain it, be there as that safety net for the community.
Just really, please, please support Norwood. They are really a wonderful organisation that I couldn't have done without, and I know Michelle couldn't have done without.
We don't get funded for this work. We have to fundraise ourselves for this work and for the staff to deliver this kind of quality intervention. Please give generously. We need the money. We need to be able to employ staff like Alex to be able to help children like Michelle. Without the money, we can't employ the staff. Without the staff, we can't do the work. Please give generously.
Norwood have made a big difference to my life. I wouldn't have been able to stay with Elisa without Norwood's help. I don't know how I would manage every day-to-day life without my counsellor, Alex. They've really helped and I'm really grateful.